to
Okay,
Judith this morning.
okay. So we start, yeah, it's almost time to start. So, good morning, happy Friday. Gonna be another hot August day, so at least here in Santa Fe. But we don't have high humidity, so that's a blessing. So, just to review, if you're new, I don't know if we have anyone new today or not, but I'm Judith, and this will be an hour-long gentle Kripalu yoga class. We like to use yoga mats if you have one available. If you don't have a mat, you could use a folded blanket, perhaps, and a padded surface, like a carpeted surface, because the joints will not like tile or hardwood. So just be kind to your joints. The other props we like to have available would be yoga blocks. Now, if you don't have any of these things, don't panic. You can substitute or just make do without. So these are the styrofoam versions. You can get them in Walmart and Target online. They're relatively inexpensive and they're nice and light. They also make these blocks in bamboo, which are very heavy. I would not recommend those because if you should inadvertently drop something on your foot, it would really hurt. So we'll try not to do that. I like to have padding available. I have a squishy mat and a rolled up towel fixed with rubber bands for a little fake bolster. But you could use a folded towel, a folded blanket, maybe some small cushions from the bed of the sofa would work as well. And if you don't have the yoga blocks, you could substitute with 2 water bottles or 2 canned goods of equal size and weight. Here is our old friend, the yoga strap. If you don't have one of those, you could use a scarf or a belt, perhaps a dog leash, perhaps a bathrobe tie. So you decide what works for you. And then optional are hand weights. If you feel like you need a little bit more challenge, I have a set of 1-pounders here, or a set of 2-pounders. For this class, nothing heavier than 2 pounds, please. Sometimes I get overzealous and I just end up hurting myself, so I don't want that to happen to any of you. The other chair, prop which we like to have available, is a chair. This is a nice sturdy metal folding chair, and preferably the legs should be maybe on a sticky mat, or you could take the back legs of the chair and put them up where the wall meets the baseboard or the floor. And if you have anxiety about getting on the earth, I'll just do a very quick demo. Those legs should be supported. And then you can take the arms, the hands about halfway along the edge of the seat of the chair. The weight will mostly be in the arms, and you can float one knee down gently, and then the second knee can join it. So you're on the earth. Getting back up, the same idea, hands either on the side of the chair, maybe on the forearms or on the chair. If you need to assist a leg forward, assist a leg forward, you're going to tuck those back toes. Again, most of the weight will go in the arms. Inhale. Exhale, you lift the bum, 1 foot under the seat of the chair, the second foot joins it. And then you can come up nice and slow using the back of the chair to stand up so you avoid a head rush. So those are your options. So let's start standing today, and let's take the feet fairly, I'd say shoulder width apart, maybe slightly narrower. The toes could point out. And let's just start. Hands could be on hips or hip creases as you start circling some hips. So the idea here is you're on the inside of a barrel, and see if you can touch each point on that circle, the 360 degrees. And you might want to keep the torso fairly neutral, but maybe as you get more warmed up, you could add a little bit more of the torso in there for a little more thrust as we swirl around inside our invisible barrel. And as we do this, of course, you're going to coordinate the breath with the movement. So focusing your attention on that breath, deep full breaths all the way down to the bottom lobes of the lungs, filling them completely, noticing that pause at the top, and then exhaling completely. Find another way to go the other direction now, circling the opposite direction. You may notice on that breathing that the inhale will be shorter than the exhale. The exhale might be longer. In fact, it's probably preferable for it to be longer as you squeeze all of the stale air, etc., out of the lungs. We just tend to stop maybe 3/4 of the way. So see if you can squeeze all of the air out of the lungs. Let's corkscrew back to center now. Rolling shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Again, you're drawing an imaginary circle with the shoulder girdles in the air, and maybe one side feels different than the other. Again, you're just noticing, no self-judgment here, just observing about what's going on. Let's reverse the shoulders the other way. And maybe you want to add some arms here as you get a little bit more open. There might be some snapping and cracking there, but that's just air in the joints, so no worries. Big full breaths here. And let's bring those arms to stillness. Knees will be soft, but let's float the arms up on the inhale. Exhale, press the air down by the side of the body. Inhale. Exhale, press the air down by the side of the body. Nice and easy. Just gentle bend of the knees, nothing violent. And again, focusing on that breath as a mantra, meditation as we move through the practice. Let's keep the arms up high this time overhead and keeping the chest square to the front of your screen or your space. You're going to start climbing that invisible rope. We have lots of invisible props here, which makes it very easy. You don't have to worry about keeping track of them. So just climbing that imaginary rope, stretching those fingers towards the sky as you ground the four corners of each foot into the earth. Gentle for 4, 3, belly is engaged, 2, and 1. Very nice. Here, let's interlace fingers, palms press up to the sky. Now see if you can just focus your attention now on the alignment. The palms press up towards the sky, getting a nice stretch to those fingers. And you're going to try to drop your shoulders away from the ears as best you can. Crown of head lines up with tailbone. Legs are straight, but the knees are soft, and the four corners of each foot are rooting into the earth. Let's go ahead and start circling those palms like you're just cleaning a spot on the ceiling. No need to look up at the ceiling. Nice and easy. And see if you can stay grounded from that waist down. So the only thing moving is the arms, perhaps the torso slightly. But it's not a huge move. You're just getting a big stretch, a little tug on those intercostal muscles. Let's go the other direction as you're circling those palms towards the sky. Big full breaths for 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'll do this in profile so you can see arms stay up. Inhale, exhale, the palms are still moving forward and you're stopping in front of the chest. The spine can arch slightly here. Inhale, stretch and lift. Exhale, squeeze those palms directly in front of the chest. Inhale and lift. Exhale and squeeze. Do a couple more. Inhaling and exhaling, navel to spine. Inhale and exhale. Let's come back to center now. Unlace the fingers, right hand to right hip, and just keeping that chest square to the front of your space, just tilting over to the right. And let's just circle the wrist and the fingers here. Circling the wrist in both directions, and maybe flicking invisible water, baptizing perhaps your left foot. Just a nice, lots of motion there, getting blood flow into those tiny extremities. Oh. Big full breaths, you're grounding through that left foot. And now let's bring any wrist circling to stillness. We're going to take that top arm, that left arm, and make a circle with the entire top left arm. This doesn't have to be a big movement. It can just be a small circle. Pumping synovial fluid now into that left shoulder girdle. And then you're going to reverse the direction of your circling. And you're still grounding through those feet. You're still lifting through the torso. And then let's bring that to stillness, and let's go ahead and just float that arm down. Imagine it sinking through that vat of honey. So you're just not letting the arm collapse. And just shake everything out. And let's just pause here. Just notice how you feel. Notice the left side of the body and the right side of the body. Nice big inhale. Float those arms up. Now left hand comes to the left hip. Again, keeping that chest square to either the long end of your mat, the front of your space, or your screen, and we're going to start circling that right wrist, flicking invisible water off of the fingertips as you circle the wrist, sprinkling, watering your left foot perhaps, in your imagination, of course, and then make sure you circle the wrist in both directions. Deep full breaths, staying lifted through the torso, even as we tilt over to the left. Let's bring the wrist and fingers to stillness, and now that entire top right arm will make circles. They can stay small. You can decide how frisky you feel. Maybe they want to be bigger or not. You decide. And this shoulder might feel different than the other shoulder. Just noticing, no judgment. Let's reverse the direction of the circles. And your breathing for 4 and 3, 2, 1. Bringing that to stillness. Let's float that arm down again through that invisible vat of honey. And let's just go ahead. Maybe the feet want to come a little wider. Let's just swing the arms now, side to side. So as you shift the weight from side to side, maybe you want to lift the opposite heel. As you twist to the left, you raise the right heel. As you twist to the right, you lift the left heel. And then once you get involved in your rhythm, you become absorbed in the rhythm. Let's just start tapping the torso here. So we're awakening those internal organs. So the front arm awakes those organs while the back hand is going to tap the kidneys. Now the kidneys are a little bit higher. They're closer to where the shoulder blades terminate. So you'd be tapping there. And then once you get that arm movement going, just make sure you turn and look over each shoulder to the wall behind you. In Qigong, this is called the Qi belt. It's the only horizontal meridian in the body. And so we're enlivening those organs that work 24/7. And you're twisting the spine. So the spine is like a wet washcloth, and you're bringing the water out of that washcloth with the twisting. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's come back now just to the Qi belt. And now you're going to take either a soft fist or the heel of the hand, and you're going to tap directly under the collarbone, the clavicle, the top point of the lung, doing our best to keep those lungs clear and open, nice and easy. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to tap yourself on the shoulder, giving yourself a pat on the shoulder and the back here, the back part of that top lung point. Deep full breaths, remembering those breaths. And a new label for them, the LSD breath. Long, slow, and deep. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then gently corkscrewing yourself back to center, nice and easy. Let's keep the feet, I'd say shoulder width apart. Let's keep the toes pointing forward here. Hands could start on hips or hip crease, you decide. And just knees track over toes. Inhale, bend those knees. The torso is going to stay upright. It's not about trying to get your torso to the earth. You're just going to bend the knees. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Bending and straightening. Inhale and exhale. Maybe you want to add the arms for 8, 7, maybe not, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's stay down on 1, maybe with arms in front and little pulses here, nice and gentle. Finding that center point of the balance right there in the center of the feet. Where is the fulcrum there? Little pulses, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1. Now staying down on 1, drop shoulders away from ears. Lift the toes on each foot. Press the toes down, lifting and pressing, lifting and pressing for 8, 7, 6, spread the toes wide, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Let's come on up, nice and slow. Shake out the shoulders, maybe give them a roll or 2. I'm going to do this in profile. The legs could stay the same width apart. The toes are still pointing forward. Let's come back down into that baby squat. And now we're going to move toward chair pose, Utkatasana. And maybe the arms want to come up at the angle. Maybe they want to stay parallel to the earth. The belly is engaged. You're aiming the bum toward an invisible kindergartner's chair. And you're dropping the shoulders away from the ears. For 8, 7, strengthening the quads. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Staying in chair. Inhale, one arm sweeps back. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale, exhale, other arm sweeps back. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Let's just straighten those legs nice and slow. Feet are about shoulder width apart. Let's just drop the shoulders away and the arms come in a big wide V, standing mountain pose. Crown of head lines up with tailbone, abdominals are engaged. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and float the arms again, sinking down slowly and as best you can. Shake it out. Very nice. Now maybe you want to have a chair here for support. Maybe you could be near a wall for support if you have a little worry about balance this morning. And by the way, the balance can change from day to day, so we just keep working on it, wherever we are in that moment. Let's lift the right heel and then press it down. Lift the left heel, press it down. Breathing, nice and gentle. Getting some blood flow into the ankle, the Achilles tendon, 5 little piggies on each foot, those toes, and just shifting the weight from side to side, bicycle pedaling those heels, and maybe you want to speed it up, but maybe you don't. Just noticing how the ankles and the legs shift to accommodate change in balance, strengthening the ankles and the feet. Very useful for fall prevention, hopefully. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both heels come down. Now let's lift the right heel and just initiating the motion with the ankle. Circle that right ankle. See if you can hit each spot on that little circle there in the air. So the ankle bone initiates the movement. Everything else, the thigh and the knee goes along for the ride. And you're standing tall on that supporting left leg. Let's go the other direction. Gently. And let's bring that to stillness. Shifting the weight now over to that right leg, lift the left heel. You're still standing tall. Again, it's the ankle joint that's moving it, that's initiating the motion. This ankle may be totally different than the other one. Modify as you need. Big full breaths. Don't hold the breath. And let's go in the opposite direction. Lovely. Couple more in this direction. And then bringing that heel down to stillness. Now, the feet are directly under the hips. That's where the femur bone tucks into the pelvic girdle. So this isn't hip distance apart. This is hip distance apart. So just figure out where that is. And then here you might want to lift the toes one more time, both sets, all 10 toes, place them down and shift the weight forward. Maybe you want to slightly lift the heels. But again, just noticing where that fulcrum is in the center of the foot. Just finding that balance. And then once you start rocking forward and back, maybe you want to lift the toes and then rock back. And then lift the heels as you rock forward. Big full breaths, breathing for 4, 3, 2. Let's add some arms, maybe not. You might want to slow it down as you lift and rock back, lift and rock back. Nice and gentle, staying calm and relaxed for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms float down. Keep rocking with the feet and then slowly, slowly come back to center. And again, finding that center point of balance in those feet. Spread the toes wide. Roll the shoulders a couple of times. Very nice. All right. I'm going to grab my blocks. If you don't have them, don't worry. Usually the weight of the arm bones is more than sufficient to give you a challenge. The feet are going to be wide, 30 to 45 degrees, and let's extend those arms out to the side. Inhale, slide the ribs to the right. Coming back to center, slide the ribs to the left. Sliding side to side. And you're breathing for 4, 3, 2, belly is engaged, and 1. Now coming back to center, little teeter-totter. The arms aren't moving. It's only the torso that's moving. Little teeter-totter with the body for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Back to center. Now, nice and easy. We're going to go halfway down with a flat back. Crown of head lifts up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, going halfway down with a flat back. Imagine there's a strap around the hips pulling you to the wall behind. The crown of the head is stretching forward. Abdominals are engaged for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those arms down. And maybe the blocks can come to the tall setting. This will just depend on how long your arms are, the proportion of the bones in the arms, etc. I've got mine on the tall setting. The toes are pointing 30 to 45 degrees out. We're going to just do a series of squats here in the middle. Inhale, bend, knees track over toes. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Stay down on 1. Little pulses here in the middle. Dropping the bum is to your optimum depth, not your maximum. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's stay down. And maybe you want to shift over to the right, forearm to right thigh. Maybe the opposite hand on the block. We're going to pulse into the right hip. And maybe that left toe is going to come off the earth. The heel stays grounded. You do little pulses into this right hip, pumping synovial fluid in there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Maybe left forearm to left thigh. Maybe opposite hand to a block. Maybe the right toes come up off of the earth. The heels stay grounded. You're pulsing into this left hip now. And it's not a death press with that forearm. You're staying lifted through the torso, so you're not just collapsing into that thigh. Little pulses here. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center. I've got one hand on each block. Imagine there's a magnet there attached to your butt. And you're just going to shift from side to side now. A little railroad track attached to that magnet. So you're not lifting up in the middle. You're just gliding from side to side as best you can. It's nice to face the long end of your mat so that you have plenty of support for those feet. And you're not struggling with perhaps feet on the earth or the wooden floor. Depends on where you are. Let's just float from side to side for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come back to center. One hand to thigh, second hand to thigh, and come on up. You're still going to be in your squat. You're still going to be in your squat. Roll the shoulders. From here, let's take right shoulder over towards that left thigh. And you can place your left forearm on the thigh. You can look over the left shoulder to the wall behind you as you gently press with your right hand open that left soft part of your thigh. You're looking over to the wall behind you for 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back through center. Now the left shoulder presses over towards the right knee. You're looking over the right shoulder to the wall behind you. And now that left hand presses into the thigh. And it's not a death press. It's just a nice steady press with the hand into the thigh into the hand. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center. That's moving slowly from side to side, nice and easy. Only coming part way up with that torso as you just shift from side to side. We'll do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Coming back to center. Hands could go to blocks. Heel toe the feet together. Or step the feet together. I'll do this in profile. We'll do a series of flat back lifts. Hands drag along the shins. Inhale halfway up. Back is flat, abs engaged. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Lifting and folding. lifting and folding. Let's just pause here in this forward fold, and we can micro bend the knees left and right. Hands could come to the mat, hands could come to blocks. Stretch out that low back here. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Maybe some Mr. Ed lips here, horse lips. Get those facial muscles involved, get some blood flow going into those cheeks. And then nice and easy, bringing the legs to stillness. Hands can come to thighs, back stays flat. Lifting through the crown of the head, you're stretching it forward as you stack the bones, stack the bones, stack the bones, coming all the way up to standing. And now rolling those shoulders a few times. Whew. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. Eyes can drop closed here or soft gaze on the earth, you decide. And just notice where the energy has moved in the body. Heart beating, blood flowing, life force, chi, moving through all those electrical highways in the body. Couple of breaths here, breathing, filling it completely, noticing the pause at the top, exhaling fully and completely, noticing the pause at the bottom. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze out all the air. Inhale. And exhale. And then hands come away, just shake everything out. Just taking inventory, noticing how you feel. Then I'm going to grab the chair. And we'll do a little bit of balance, and then we'll go to the earth. I'm going to go ahead and maybe I'm going to grab a block. And I'm going to place it on the low setting. And it's between the 2 feet. So for here, maybe you don't want to be too close to that chair. We're just going to go ahead and take the left toes, tuck them onto that block as the left heel tucks into that right calf. You're still standing tall on that supporting right leg. Let's go ahead and bring one arm up. This is a modified tree pose. You might only want to do half and half, but maybe you want to bring the other arm up. Now find a spot either on the earth or in front of you that does not move. See if you can drop the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe your tree branches want to swing in the breeze. Maybe they don't. Breathing, disturbing all the birds in the branches of your tree. And then bringing that to stillness. The palms meet together in prayer overhead, dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, and just lifting through that right leg, pressing that left heel into the right calf pressing into the left heel for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down. Leg and foot comes down. Shake it out. How was that side? I'm going to take the chair over to the other side just as a balance precaution. The 2 feet frame that block on the low setting. You're going to tuck the right toes into that low block, and the right heel tucks into the left calf. The left calf tucks into the right heel. Find a spot that doesn't move your drishti point. Maybe you want to do one arm only, do half and half. Perfectly fine. Maybe you want to do a second arm. Drop shoulders away from ears, abdominals engaged. Lifting through that standing left leg. And then the tree branches wave in the breeze, maybe. This side could be a totally different experience. Just noticing, no judgment. Big full breaths. And then tree branches come to stillness, palms meet together in prayer overhead, dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart. Breathing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down, foot comes down, shake out the legs. How is that side? Just noticing the balance does change from day to day, so don't be hard on yourself. Let's go ahead and I'll keep the chair here onto this side. I'm not too close to the chair. The feet are directly under the hips, toes point forward, you're standing tall, both knees bend softly. Let's cross right ankle over the top of the left thigh. Now it needs to go on that thigh muscle, not on the knee joint, and you're still going to stand tall in the torso. Maybe the right hand could come to the hip crease. Inhale, bend that standing leg. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1, little pulses, that top foot is flexed. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, straighten the standing leg, unwind that top leg, dangle the lower leg like the pendulum on a clock. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that leg to stillness. Maybe the knee comes up to the waist, no higher. We're going to inhale, and the back toe could stay on the earth. You can just point the toe and touch the earth. That arm comes forward, or you could take that back leg parallel to the earth. You decide what works. Inhale, exhale, draw leg and arm together. Inhale, stretch it away. Exhale, this is modified warrior 3. For 4, 3, 2, 1. See if you can stay here. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe if you get crazy, both arms can go forward, but maybe not. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw arm and leg together, back again, float that leg down. Shake out the legs. You should really feel it in that left buttock. I'm feeling it there, certainly. Let's go to the other side. You're not way too close to the chair. Feet directly under the hips, toes point forward. Both knees softly bend. Cross left ankle over top of the right thigh. And that ankle should be on the thigh, not on the knee joint, please. The left hand could come to hip crease. That top left foot is flexed. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. For 8, 7, 6, 5. Torso stays upright. 4, 3, 2. Stay down on 1. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the standing leg. Unwind that top leg. Lower leg swings like a pendulum on a clock. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it to stillness. The front arm comes forward now, left arm, and then that left toe could either touch the earth, or maybe that back leg is parallel to the earth. You decide. Inhale, stretch it forward. Exhale, arm and leg meet. Inhale, stretch it forward. Exhale, squeeze. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. We extend now. Modified warrior 3. maybe one arm come forward, and maybe the second arm, maybe, but maybe not. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Arm and leg come back together, float down to earth, shake out that side. How was that side? Okay, I'm gonna take the chair over to the side, grabbing my blocks. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the blocks at the narrow end of the mat. Let's go ahead and take a big inhale up. And exhale, forward fold. Let's do it 1/2 back lift. Inhale and exhale. Arms flow up by the side, hands come in prayer. Chin can tuck gently, maybe a baby back bend, maybe not. Inhale, arms go forward, exhale, swan dive. Inhale, arms drag up the shins, exhale, forward fold. Inhaling lift, hands meet in prayer, chin can tuck, maybe a baby back bend, maybe not. Inhale, swan dive. Arms slide up the shins. Exhale down. Float the arms up. Hands meet in prayer. Chin is tucked. And then just let's stay right here. And then come back out of that baby back bend. Let's take the hands by the hips here. And you're going to work those fists. I have my soft fists here. And you got your thumbs, and you're just going to massage up and down this low part of the spine. So you're beside the edge of the spine. You're not mashing on the spine itself. And you want to just rub it down on that spine, stimulating blood flow in that area, that low back that can get nice and tight, and too much sitting and driving and punching over computers. Maybe you want to do a little circular motion with those soft fists on the edge there, not directly on the spine. And then if you're circling, be sure you circle both ways. You're still standing tall, the shoulders drop away from ears. Nice and easy. And let's just bring those arms down to the side of the body, shake out those arms. And one more time, inhale, arms up, exhale, swan dive forward. This time walking hands forward. Feet go back into your down dog. You could do a modified down dog facing the seat of the chair with a more narrow stance with the legs. And you can bicycle pedal the heels, side to side, wagging your dog tail, maybe doing a little rumba with the hips, nice and gentle. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, you can let that head hang here. 2, and 1. Feet come to stillness. Float those knees down to the mat. It could be big toes together, knees wide apart. Press into child pose, or thighs could be parallel. I'm taking my rolled towel, placing it behind my knees. That creates more space to get the bum close to the heels. I'm nesting the top of my left foot into the arch of the right foot, and then I'm going to press back into my child pose. That's optional. You may not want to do that. If the forehead doesn't come to the mat, you could stack the palms, stack the fists, or maybe grab a block and place that forehead on the low block. Arms could be forward, arms could be beside the legs. And then once you've organized your arms and legs, just little micro movements, maybe little rocks from side to side. I'm massaging the forehead, that third eye area, the space between the two eyebrows on the block. Just letting the body melt into the earth here. Couple of breaths here. And then coming to stillness, I'm removing the block and using Let's stay in child's pose and just walk the hands on the earth over to the left. And maybe the right hand wants to stretch a little bit farther forward as you press that right hip away 45 degrees on the diagonal. Woo. And maybe this is a static press here. Maybe it's micro movements. You decide. Oh. Deep full breaths now into the back body. And then coming back to center, let's take the hands over to the right on the earth. Here's a place to switch the feet. The top of the right foot presses into the arch of the left foot. And then squish yourself back down into your child pose. Here, the hands go to the right on the earth. Maybe the left hand goes farther forward than the right hand. And you're going to press that left hip away on the diagonal, getting that big, ginormous stretch on the left side of the body. Woo. Feel good. Stretching out all those kinks. Oh. Nice and easy. And then coming back to center. Let's take the arms on the earth in front. Maybe the forehead comes to the mat. Hands meet in prayer. And you're going to walk those elbows forward as far as they're willing to go. Exhale, bend the elbows, and maybe they can go farther forward, maybe not. So you're getting a huge stretch in those upper arms, the armpits, encouraging the flow of the lymph. The bum is pressed back towards the feet and the heels. Ah. So the lymph does not have a pumping system, a mechanism. So we have to move the body in order for the lymph to flow. The heart pumps the blood, and ribs are responsible for that lymph. Let's go ahead and straighten the arms out. Taking your time, finding your way up, hands and knees. Maybe you want to pad the knees here with a blanket or a towel. Or not. Let's take the hands to the upper corners of the mat. And let's just do some hip circling here. Oh boy. Nice and easy. Getting out all that tension, pressing it away. No bellies on the mat, please. Suck in those abdominals. And then let's go the other direction. And then let's bring that to stillness, and then lower yourself down onto the mat on your belly as best you can. Stack the palms. You can rest the forehead on those stacked palms. And then once you get yourself all the way down, just lift one leg, stretch it long, and then press it back down. Lift the other leg, stretch it long, press it back down. So you're getting a nice connection with the front body to the earth. Maybe you want to sway the hips side to side here. Maybe you want to bend the knees and just windshield wiper those lower legs. You could do them in tandem, or you could do them alternating, crossing. See what feels yummy. Oh. Breathing. And then bringing that lower leg action to stillness. The legs come back down to earth. I'm going to take the right arm forward on the earth. The palm faces the midline. We'll do a half locust pose. So we're going to lift right arm and left leg, and you can just gaze at a spot on the mat or the floor in front of you. Try not to crane the back of the neck. Inhale, lift right arm and left leg for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower arm, lower leg. You stack palms. Sway the hips just to release any tension. And now we'll extend the left arm on the earth. The palm faces the midline. We're going to lift left arm, right leg. And my right forearm is parallel with that top of the narrow end of the mat here. Inhale, left arm, right leg for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower arm, lower leg. Sway those hips gently. Whew. And then taking a nice deep full breath. Let it all out. Let's bring the hips to stillness. And you're going to drag that left knee on the earth like you're trying to get your knee up into your left armpit. So this is like a half frog movement. So that lower leg is perpendicular to the thigh. You're not bending the knee so that it's folded together. And you're trying to keep the pelvis square to that narrow end of the mat. So the left leg is coming up, it's pressed to the earth, the foot is flexed. You're trying to get the pelvis square to the front of the mat without forcing or jamming. And then you're going to relax and breathe into this as best you can. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that leg back down nice and slow. Go to the other side, drawing that right knee up towards the right armpit. And then making sure that lower leg is perpendicular to the thigh. The right foot is flexed. And you're going to try to press that pelvis square to the mat. This side may notice it's totally different. Mine is. I have much more difficulty pressing that pelvis in towards the earth. So this is half frog. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to slowly drag that leg back down. Sway the hips one more time. Nice and easy. And then slowly, using either hands, wrists, forearms, and then draw yourself back up one more time. Finding your child pose. And this is the counter stretch here. So be very careful, very slow, very mindful as you press into child pose now. Oh, yeah. Oh. Easy does it. Pressing the bum back towards the heels. Maybe micro movements, maybe not, maybe a little circle with that pelvic floor. That wouldn't be a huge move. It's just a small move. And circle in both directions. Squeezing the abdominals. And then coming on up to sitting. Nice and easy. Oh, yes. Long last. We're here sitting on the earth. Take the knees bent, the feet are parallel, hip distance apart. I like to grab the hat behind the thighs. Shins would be fine, but not the knee joint, just the backs of the thighs or the shins. Inhale forward, exhale back and squeeze. Inhale forward, exhale back and squeeze. 2 more, forward and squeeze. Forward. And squeeze, roll it all the way down, triple slow time. You're laying that spine down like a string of pearls. Once you get onto the earth, you might want to lift the hips up to realign, crown of head with tailbone. Back of the neck is long on the earth. Have your strap handy. Let's keep the right knee bent, and then we're going to loop the strap around the ball of the left foot. You don't have a strap, you could just grab the back of your thigh, maybe one hand on thigh, one hand on calf, avoid the knee joint, and then just draw this left straight leg towards the face. Just your optimum stretch, nothing violent. And then we're going to inhale and drop that left straight leg and hover, and you're not going to land. Inhale, and then exhale as you lift it back up. Inhale, drop and hover. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Dropping and lifting. Getting your optimum stretch rather on that lift. Let's do 4 more. One. Very nice. Let's remove the strap. Draw that thigh into the chest briefly and then drop the left foot flat to the earth. The knee stays bent. Now we've got take the strap around the ball of the right foot. And then just drawing that right straight leg close to the chest. To your optimum, not your maximum. You don't want to pop anything on the back. Avoid popping that hamstring. That's a very nasty injury. So you're just going to do your optimum here. Inhale. Inhale, drop and hover. Exhale, squeeze and lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Remove the strap, bend those knees. And let's take those feet net width apart. The knees are still bent. We're just going to windshield wiper those knees. Ah. Massaging that back body. Big sigh of relief here, hopefully. Whee! And just focusing again on that breath, that meditation, that mantra, which is the breath. Nice and easy. Next time the knees drop to the right, leave them there. With both shoulder blades on the earth, see if you can just turn the face to the left. If that bothers your neck, don't do it. Just look at the ceiling. So it might be drop knees to the right and face and neck to the left. Both shoulder blades on the earth. A delicious supine twist. Arms could be in T position. Coming back to center, windshield wipering one more time. Recalibrating. Next time the bent knees go to the left, leave them there. Maybe you want to drop the knees onto a prop or a blanket. You decide. Sometimes if you just straighten the legs slightly, it feels a little bit better into that twisted spine movement. So it will be left knees to the left bent knees to the left, and then face to the right. Maybe if it bothers the neck, don't do it. Look at the ceiling. Take a few deep full breaths right here. And then coming back to center. Both thighs coming back into the chest. Oh, let's massage that sacrum area, that low back. Just a few times in both directions. And then bringing that to stillness, cross left thigh on top of right thigh. No space between the thighs. Your hands grab the shins like bicycle handlebars. The back of the neck is long. I'm going to draw the thighs into the chest with a steady pressure. The feet are flexed. Externally rotate those feet as you drop the tailbone to the earth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind the legs. Shake them out between sides. Shake the arms. 2. Cross right thigh on top of left thigh. No space between the thighs. You're grabbing the shins like bicycle handlebars. The feet float in the air. Draw the thighs in towards the chest. Flex both feet. Externally rotate both feet. Drop the tailbone toward the earth. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind the legs. Shake them out. Shake them out. Fingers, toes, feet, hands, just give them a shake. And then they're going to float down to the earth. Legs can stretch out long, arms and legs 30 to 45 degrees on the earth for Shavasana, resting pose. You might want to roll a towel or blanket under those knees for support for the low back. If flat on the back on the earth doesn't work, you could bend the knees, that width apart, knock the knees together. This is restorative rest pose. Just resting with the knees knocked together. Maybe You want to go on your side, resting the head on that upper arm. Legs are stacked. The head could rest on a block as well, or a blanket and a block. Maybe the legs would like to go up the wall. Maybe the body could stay on the earth with the lower legs on the seat of the chair. It's a delicious way to do Shavasana. So just finding your best version of Shavasana this morning. And then doing a scan of the body, noticing how you feel. Letting deep relaxation permeate all the way from the soles of the feet, up through the ankles, the legs, the knees, the thighs, and then up into the hips, the buttocks, the pelvis, the belly. The relaxation moves into the torso, envelops all the vital organs, moves up into the chest and the shoulders, rolling down both arms. It envelops the throat and the neck, and then it envelops the head, all the way to the crown of the head. Noticing back body and front body, right side and left side. Noticing the earth below supporting you, the stars, the moon, the galaxies far above. Noticing the space you've created inside the body and the space around the body, as though a white circle of healing light envelops the entire body. Noticing the whole body together, the whole body together, the whole body together. And here's a poem from the late, great Mary Oliver, just as the calendar began to say summer. I went out of the schoolhouse fast and through the gardens and to the woods and spent all summer forgetting what I'd been taught. 2 times 2 and diligence and so forth. How to be modest and useful and how to succeed and so forth. Machines and oil and plastic and money and so forth. By fall, I had healed somewhat, but was summoned back to the chalky rooms and the desks to sit and remember the way the river kept rolling its pebbles, the way the wild wrens sang, though they hadn't a penny in the bank, the way the flowers were dressed in nothing but light. If you'd like to remain here in Shavasana for as long as feels right, please feel free to stay right there. But if you're ready to greet the day, begin to bring gentle movement to fingers and toes, and arms and legs. And as you are ready, drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a hug, and then rolling onto your favorite side and pausing there for just a few breaths in embryo posture. And on the next inhale, keeping the eyes closed, press yourself up into a comfortable seated posture, rooting the sits bones down into the earth, drawing the crown of the head up into the sky, scanning the body for the effects of the practice, and thanking the body for all it does all day, every day, and bringing to mind one thing for which you are grateful. And on the next inhale, let's float the palms up overhead, hands meet in prayer, dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, Samastiti. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May you know peace. I salute the bright light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan. So I'm going to stop the recording and switch the camera.